One More Turn. Episode 403. Meet and Greet.
You have a message from Pedro, sent today, 3:50 p.m. My bosses rebuffed Bella's overture to rejoin Acme Smith. I don't agree, but I have no hiring power. She went in wanting to serve as a lawyer. You would never thank me for introducing you to Bella since you already know her, but thank me for this advice. Hire her yourself.
Delete. Play next message.
You have reached the end of your messages. To play the first archived.
End call.
Goodbye.
Enter. I understand you're looking to move here from the big city.
I had only been here once before as a young child, but it made an impression.
You must have been wearing rose-colored glasses at the time.
My parents had no use for such novelties. I assure you, the impression was a good one.
How do you think yours is going with me?
My what, ma'am?
First, address me as Avery. Second, I mean your impression. Your first impression. What message do you think you're sending to me right here, right now?
Someone who is patiently waiting for their job interview to begin.
And what makes you think your interview didn't begin the moment you walked through the door? Hell, the moment you knocked on it, even.
You haven't asked me the first question on the list I received to prepare for when I...
You did follow the instructions to write down and retain your answers, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Avery?
I will review them at a later time, but I'll let you in on the no that exercise was a mere formality. Unless you admit to something libelous or otherwise scandal bait for our competitors, we won't speak of them again.
If you're not going to stick to the parameters of this interaction, as per your...
If you don't know a certain Shakespeare who's not a playwright, I'll be damned.
Permission to speak freely, Avery.
Go on.
A job interview is not just an employer considering the suitability of a potential employee.
Is that so?
That is so. It's also a would-be employee considering the suitability of a potential employer.
What makes you think I haven't thought of this already? Even agree with it?
Your reputation precedes you in the big city, as you put it.
Did your parents have no use for pleasantries either?
You presume to know what my range of pleasantries are, and in turn that I am behaving outside of them presently.
Oh, you are correct with both of those points. Law of averages strikes again.
Setting my personal feelings aside, it is clear to me I am not suitable for your firm.
How is that setting your personal feelings aside, exactly?
To start, I am not going to point out how you failed to address me by name at any time.
That's good, because that point would be premature. Hayden.
Then, I would not point out how it is professional standard for employers and would-be employees to address each other by last names in their initial interaction.
Speaking of names, if your parents are from the big city, I might know them. Or perhaps they me, given my reputation. What are their first names?
I am not naive to think that who you know, who you're related to, has no bearing on employability. But I admit I was naive enough to think anyone would be so brazenly overt about it.
My inquiry is based on your ability to follow instructions, and as an employer posing a question to a would-be employee, I expect nothing less than an honest and timely answer. Just this once, with you, will I repeat my question. What are your parents' first names?
James and Paula.
You'll hear from me one way or the other about the job by the end of the week. that was exhausting, exhilarating. Reminds me of my favorite playtimes. Brr. But now, time to cross-reference what I have and what I've learned about Kaidan against FortunaWorks client database. It's so beneficial for me Riley still hasn't changed that access password. Makes working against her that much more enjoyable. Coincidences are so for the weak-minded. Iris, call Riley.
One More Turn, written and created by Daniel Dan Q. Quick. Edited by Dark Cloud and Michael Ubermarkler Bryant. Directed and produced by Daniel Dan Q. Quick. Characters in order of appearance. Avery, voiced by Jennifer Lund. Kaidan, voiced by Ernie Darkest Onion. Sounds courtesy of freesound.org. Music by Kevin MacLeod. Voiceovers by Canas Albinas. Visit the One More Turn website at onemoreturn.net. Copyright Civilized Communication at civcom.net.
On the next episode of One More Turn.
Don't think for a moment, Gary, that I believe your evolution pontification has anything to do with Carson and Hudson's partnership. You're just trying to get me to admit to one and all here that it has to do with where our relationship is going.
Oh, sis.
Our friend, gentlemen, lady foot and mouth.